Hey, what's up? So in my last video, I showed you all this machine, which is a flying machine that uses these thrusters from Create Propulsion Simulated to be able to fly at any altitude. You can go up to like 1,000 blocks in the sky. Now that's cool and all, but this mod actually also adds some other things that I think are just as powerful or even more powerful. So I'm talking about this solid burner, liquid burner, and Stirling engine. And basically these things are just a replacement for blaze burners, but they have some extra uses. So as you could probably guess, the solid burner burns items, the liquid burner burns liquids, and then the Stirling engine you can just put on top and it'll create rotational energy based on the heat that these create. But the coolest thing about these is that you can superheat them without using blaze cakes. And you can use that to make some really cool stuff. So here I made a lava farm, and it uses this recipe for lava, which normally requires a superheated blaze burner. So it's not really practical for most people, but since we're using this, we can superheat it with just using the lava that it creates itself. And so I was able to make this super compact lava farm that has really good output. So all it is this mixer on top of a liquid burner that's fed by its own lava. And then the lava also powers this other liquid burner that powers a Stirling engine. And that runs all the machines on this, including this cobblestone generator, which sends the cobblestone directly into the basin. And that's it. And so if we compare this lava farm to like a more traditional dripstone farm of like around the same size, it's way more powerful. This gives 55.8 millibuckets per second. This is only 2.6. And for comparison, this is about the size of a dripstone lava farm that you would need to match this output. And this is an 8x8 dripstone lava farm. So this thing is also super cheap. So here's all the stuff you need to make it. And all this comes out to just 14 copper, 21 iron, and 20 andesite alloys, not including like the buckets and stuff. All right, so let me show you how to build it. So you start off by placing liquid burners right here and here. On top of this one, we're gonna have our basin, and we're gonna have our pump leading out of that. Then we're just gonna have our 3 pipes right there. Then on top of our basin is our mixer. And then we're gonna put our Stirling engine on right here with our hopper leading into the basin. All right, now we're gonna have our leaves here, and we're gonna waterlog them. Then we're gonna put down our block of cobblestone. This is where our cobblestone will generate. Then we'll put our drill leading into that. Now to start linking stuff up, we're gonna put a cogwheel here, another cogwheel here, with 2 vertical gearboxes like this. And then on top, we just need 3 more cogs like this. Then we're gonna place a temporary block right here, and we'll place our copycat panels, or any block it can be, here, here, and here. This will hold in our lava. And we'll go back up, break the temporary block, and put our lava there. And then I'm gonna fill in these copycats with glass. And that's it. Now, unfortunately, you have to kind of manually start it yourself. And it's a little bit annoying to do, but the easiest way to do that is just to put some lava and pump it in like this. So you can just crank this pump, and then it'll put the lava in there, and that'll get it started. Then you can just get rid of all this stuff, and it'll, from here, it'll just go forever. Now, if you want to just like store this lava in a tank, you'll want to make sure to place it 2 pipes away from this spot, or else the tank will just take all the lava and not give it to this burner. And that's because the pump tries to send the lava to the closest things first. And so we want to place our tank farther away so it only gets the extra. Okay, so now that we have our super fast, super compact lava farm, what can we actually do with it? Okay, so other than actually like using the lava for recipes like making andesite or something, you can use it to power your machines. So this amount of lava can power this many other liquid burners with Stirling engines. This is 50. It can actually do a little bit more than this. And all of these together produces about 200,000 stress units. So this is insanely powerful for this small of a footprint. Alternatively, you can power 3 max level steam boilers, which is insane. Just this amount of lava can superheat all burners of 3 of these. And altogether, that's almost 900,000 stress units. And by the way, you can see these 2 are slightly different. This is a small variation on the design that's a little bit cheaper because it doesn't use a hopper. Instead, the cobblestone generator just generates directly on top of the basin, so the cobblestone falls right in. The only downside of this one is that it has this extra panel on the front to keep in the water, so it's a little bit less compact. And then if you're wondering what this is just basically the same farm, except I'm using these bulk fermenters added by Create diesel generators to produce the lava instead. And this is actually a lot less efficient than that one. This is only about 10 millibuckets per second, and that's even with the fermenter being extended out a lot bigger. Okay, this is cool and all, but we're playing Create Aeronautics, so what kind of vehicles can we power with this? So I made a few examples to showcase. These are just some quick little things. I made this really ugly airship. It's built out of these nether woods because they don't burn with the lava. So if we hop up here, we've got our hot air burners, and then down below I've got a lava farm right here in the back, and it's just powering this level 2 boiler. It can do a lot more than that, of course, but this is all I needed. And that's sending power up top to a propeller on the back right there. So we can just turn that on, and we can steer with the steering wheel, and this just affects this rudder. And yeah, it works pretty easily. And this has tons of stress units to spare, so you could like set up a little factory down here or something if you wanted. And this is a pretty small airship with a pretty small propeller, but as you saw, this can produce a ton of power. So you could use a tiny lava engine like this to power an enormous airship if you wanted. So I also made this tank, and this uses the tracks from the Create Tracks mod. And this similarly has a lava farm right here in the back, and that feeds the lava to, now this time, a level 4 steam boiler. And this works pretty nicely. I can grab my controller, sit in the seat, and drive around like this. And you can also use this big cannon right here. So the way you load it, it's kind of semi-automatic, but you turn up the breech with this, pull that back, and then we just load one thing at a time. So we'll do our shell, and 1, 2, 3, 4 powder charges. You can close the breech, pull that back, assemble, and then fire. So you can see how this really compact lava generator allows you to make vehicles like this and this that are pretty compact while having an infinite fuel source. They can just run forever. Of course, it's still a little bit too big to really be useful on smaller vehicles like little planes and helicopters. But even then, if you're making much bigger planes or helicopters, they can still be very useful. But yeah, that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you this little lava generator. Hope you can use it in your builds. So if you like this, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.